Hello again from my front porch. Today is actually a little bit different. I'm not using my iPhone to record any of this. I'm actually using my computer. We're doing this web because I have a very special guest that I want to visit with here on the porch, but we're going to visit virtually by way of video because he's down in Oklahoma. And I'm going to turn it over now to my baby brother. Yes, he actually is my brother. When you see him, you'll wonder, are they really related? Because obviously I am far more handsome. But my baby brother, Zene is his name. Well, I'm gonna let you meet him now, but then we are going to talk about how the name has evolved over time. But first, folks, this is my baby brother, 20 years younger than me, Zene Smith.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my office. Hello again from my office. This is Joseph Ryder. He's going to be accompanying me a little bit today to keep me honest. Fact checking and whatnot, you know. Somebody's got to.
Do you have anybody else there with you, Zach, that we should meet?
I do. There's my girlfriend Jessica, but she is shaking her head no. She doesn't want to be on camera. But
oh, just peek your head in, Jessica. Just wave.
There's her hand.
There's her hand.
She does exist, folks. I do have a girlfriend. She does exist.
Fact check.
Exactly. But yeah, she's a little camera shy. She's afraid that she's going to make me start looking bad because if you get more attractive people in, then I look less attractive.
Well, I can understand that. Yeah. And I also have to interject here because already, even without intending to, I introduced the name issue because when I went back to you the second time, I called you Zach. Now I have to explain when to back this all the way up, when I was young and was growing up and telling my parents that
dinosaurs roamed the earth.
yes, back when dinosaurs roamed, yes. But I used to tell our parents that a name that if I ever have a son, I would love to name my son Zachary. Now, the reason was because I grew up basically babysat by the television, and I loved the name Zachary Smith from Lost in Space, Dr. Smith. And I liked the name Zachary Smith. I thought it sounded really good. And apparently I talked about it so much that when my baby brother was born, while I was in my freshman year of college, or maybe it's my sophomore year when you were actually born, that my parents stole the name. They named him after our dad, Zene Smith. That's his first name. And then his middle name is Zachary, which they stole my name, and then I couldn't use it. But
should have popped out kids faster.
I should have. I came really close because my daughter is now, what, a year and 2 months younger than you?
That's true.
Yeah. So that's a little different, having an uncle and a niece who are basically peers in the same age group category. But hey, it works for our family because our family's weird anyway. So.
That's true. You were telling the truth. Fact check.
Fact check.
Okay, well, anyway, so his name for the longest time was Zach. That's right, because even though he's named after our dad, it was confusing to have two Zenes in the house. And so there was Dad, who was Zene, and then there was Zach, which he was called by his middle name. And that's what he was growing up for any number of years. But then Zach decides he wants to become a musician. He wants to be not just like somebody who just plays for fun, but someone who actually pursues this as a career. And he recognizes that he needs to have a name that helps him stand out from the crowd. And Zach Smith, it's okay, but doesn't have unique aspect.
I didn't agree with the quality of Zachary Smith like you did. But, I went with my first name, and lo and behold, Zene is, in Hungary it's pronounced Zene, but it actually means music. If you can fact check that if you would like, but it's true. I don't know if you
fact check.
Fact check.
So, but yeah, and I learned this after I started playing music. But I decided to start going by my first name because as I pursued music, it was really just me and whoever I could get to play with me, Exhibit A. So I didn't really have a set of band members, so I would just call the band Zene, and in light of that, I would just go by my first name because I figured the correlation would be easy for people to remember the fact that Zene is from this band Zene. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And it's great. And sorry for the sound there. I had to open my can of San Pellegrino. I've been bragging about this a lot. I've been drinking. My girlfriend Brandy has introduced me to this stuff and all the variations. This one is the Clementine one. So anyway, I'm going to be drinking this while you keep talking. So you got into doing band stuff. Give us just a little snippet of the kind of the history so far, the road so far, if you will, of Zene and his musical work.
Sure. I'm going to thank my sponsor as well. Great Value, purified drinking water.
Boy, are we related or what?
So as far as where it started, I started writing music probably around 7th or 8th grade, as far as writing lyrics and things like that, but I couldn't play an instrument yet. So I was writing music before I could actually play music. And my first time on stage live was actually with Paul. He gave me the opportunity to sing a duet with him. It was A Few Good Men, I believe.
Yes, I remember that. That was from the Smith family sing-along, whatever, at the Church in Ames.
Inspiration, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Inspiration. But that was my first time having a solo in front of people, and I guess I was hooked after that. But
I may have to go see if I can dig up the video for that and slip that in here.
Yeah, or you could do not that.
Come on, Zane, have some confidence in your first performance, man.
My appearance hasn't changed all that much. The only difference is I have a beard now to cover a baby.
Actually, that is true.
Wow.
But
tough and gentle, a man whose word is sure. God doesn't need it all the time. He knows just what to say. He doesn't need authorities to reason him away. He doesn't need an army to guarantee a way. He just needs a few good men. Men full of compassion, who laugh and love and cry. Men who face eternity and aren't afraid to die. Men who fight for freedom and honor once again. He just needs a few good men.
so from there, I went on to compete in fine arts festivals as a male vocal solo. I did individual songwriting once I learned how to play an instrument, and I also did worship team. I entered in all those categories as soon as the opportunity presented itself. In 2005, I got first place in the Iowa Fine Arts Festival for individual songwriting. And from there, I knew that I was being called into music. So started writing more songs, and I started listening more rock music. So I started writing more rock music. And long story short, in 2010, I think, late 2010, decided to move to Oklahoma to pursue joining a rock band called Rise and Fire, which was a post-hardcore kind of band. Wasn't really my style of music exactly. It was a little heavy for what I wanted to do, and actually I was doing lead guitar and backup vocals, and I wanted to do something where I was doing more singing, less guitar playing. And so I helped them write a record. We put it out, and then I said, I'm going to go try and do my own thing. And that's when I joined my current band, which is Fight the Fade. And I've been with them for about 6 years now, I think. And
so what does Fight the Fade mean?
Well, Fight the Fade has had several definitions. I didn't come up with the band name. So what I've been told it means is the Fight the Fade stands for a lot of young people once they get around college age or so, they start to kind of fade away from the church. They start to fade away from their beliefs, and so our goal is to help combat that, help fight that people fading away from what they grew up believing, because we believe that it's real. We believe that God has a purpose for your life, and that no matter where you're from, God loves you. And so that's what Fight the Fade means as far as I'm concerned and what I've been told.
Amen, brother.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Fact check?
Fact check?
Fact check. I can't even fact check it because I wasn't there, but yeah, fact check.
All right, so that brings us to today. I mean, this we could talk more about your history and how the road that got you here, but right now you are on the cusp of Zene. Sorry, old habits die hard with old people. Sorry,
New tricks,
Yeah. So Zene actually has a solo album that he has worked on. He's released, and this is the real deal, folks. Because I mean, this is going to be available on iTunes for download. I think here coming up the middle of the month, middle of September.
Yeah. So September 15th is when it'll be live. It'll be on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, really wherever digital music is found. And this is a project it's kind of been more of like a passion project for me. It's been in the works for about 2 years now. I've just been taking my time. It's a lot of songs that I've collected over the years, and I just haven't had the opportunity to record. They're not really Fight the Fade style, so I wasn't able to use it for that. And I just kind of wanted to get the music out there and kind of see what happens. So it's a collection of songs I've written through the years, and there's actually one song that's a cover that just has a lot of sentimental value to me that the general public should be aware of in case they've forgotten about it. So
okay, so would you mind if I show them on iTunes where it has play just a little brief snippet of it from iTunes? But I know that you're planning to actually do some stuff for us live right there.
Right.
So let me show them how they can find it, what it looks like on iTunes. Play just a small piece of it so they can get a taste of that, and then we'll come back to you and let you guys just take it from there. How's that sound?
Sounds great to me.
Awesome.
All right. So here, hold on. Let me show everybody the iTunes look. Okay. So there, see, Skyline Stationery. That's what you want to go out and look for, or just type in Zene. Just go into your iTunes and type in Zene. I'm pretty sure he's the only one that's going to come up for you. But here's the new album, and there is one song of the new album that has been pre-released. It's this one called Life Again. But then the rest of the album you can pre-order right now in advance of it being available here in the middle of the month. But here's a piece of this pre-release song. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I don't want to give the whole thing away. People got to actually go buy this stuff. No pirating of my brother's work. All right. So, but that sounds fantastic. I think that sounds great. It's incredible studio work, some great balancing. Sounds like you're doing some good harmonies with yourself there too. But and if you listen to the whole song is a very, very inspirational, uplifting kind of song for those who find themselves to be in a bit of a rut, in a place in life where they don't necessarily want to be. They can get out of it. You are your best means of getting out of that place that you don't like that you're in. And so I think it's a really great song. So now let me turn it back over to you guys. Let you say anything else you want to about the album, Zene, and then play for us whatever it is you guys have put together to want to share.
All right. Well, yeah. So what we're actually going to play is the song that you just heard part of, called "Life Again," and I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head as far as what it's about. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut. Sometimes you get in a place where you just need an escape. And for me, that's just going for a drive, cranking up the music, and rolling down the windows. And I think that everyone can kind of relate to that. Everyone's been somewhere where all they need to do is just get away for a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's when I do some of my best thinking, is just on drives by myself. So that being said, here is one of the first ever acoustic performances of "Life Again." When she wakes up, she's already exhausted. Put on makeup, so nobody knows. Burned out, life's taking its toll. She begins to stay down, hit the road. So roll out your window, turn up the radio. Who cares where this road goes? It's time to let down your head, live life again. Job is dead end. He knew it from day one. He had to put bread on the table at home. Nobody told him you're gonna be this long. Sometimes slowly it's gonna lose control. So roll out your window, turn up the radio. Who cares where this road goes? It's time to let down your hair and live life again. You only get one life to live. Live life again. Don't you miss this? It's your chance. Live life again. Something inside is screaming. Live life again. Turn the music up. It's time to live again. Roll out your windows. Turn up the radio. Who cares where this road goes? It's time to let down your hair and live life again. Live life again. And live life again.
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's an excellent song. And again, I want to remind people that now this is over a webcast thing, so hopefully the quality comes out really good. But irregardless, you can go out to iTunes, and that song is available for you to find right now. iTunes or wherever the other places it's found.
Pretty much anywhere digital music is. I mean, if you don't want to buy it, you can listen to it on Reverb Nation. to sample it first. If you want to listen to the whole thing all the way through and see if you like it, that's fine. Just check it out on Reverb Nation. After September 15th, it will all be available on Spotify, on Pandora, on Apple Music, Amazon MP3, wherever you buy digital music, that's where you'll find it.
You know, I was half expecting you to say, if you don't want to buy it, you can't have it.
Well, you know, if anybody watching my videos is going to think that they're going to listen to it without buying it, then I'm going to cut them off.
Yeah, right? Instant virus.
Yeah. Yeah, you try listening to that without paying for it, and your computer will crash.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so anyway, this is a great, and it's going to be on Pandora, so that means I'll be able to create a zine channel on Pandora.
Eventually, I think it takes a little bit for that to happen, but in the meantime, you can actually do a Fight the Fade Pandora station and still listen to my lovely voice.
How many albums does Fight the Fade have?
What's that?
How many albums has Fight the Fade done? You've been with them.
We have done, I'm looking at my framed albums on my desk. We've done 4, one of which is an acoustic album, which is kind of it's called Reimagined, Second Horizon Reimagined. It's got several of the tracks from our Second Horizon album, just retooled from the ground up as acoustic tracks and one new track. You know, but our newest record is self-titled, so just Fight the Fade by Fight the Fade.
And so let's say hypothetically somebody wanted to check out Fight the Fade's music. Where would they find it?
You can find that, again, anywhere music is found. You can find it at fightthefade.com. You can find it at facebook.com/fightthefadeofficial. We're on Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, we're everywhere. So.
And so what about Zene himself? Or Fight the Fade, either one, the band or yourself. Where are the relevant fan pages?
Right now, the Zine solo side project stuff is at facebook.com/Zene official, or sorry, Zene Music, and Snapchat is Look at Zine, Twitter is Zene FTF, and Instagram is also Zene FTF. So, and YouTube, you just look up Zene Smith, and there's really only 2 of us that I know of. So, and let's be honest, Dad does not have any access to a computer, so, and I wouldn't want to see what he would post on YouTube.
but he does have a couple of really great guest appearances here on the Front Porch.
That's true. Those are some of my favorites. With him and Mom on there, but
for most people, that's the favorites. That, in fact, I've discovered that for most people, their favorite episodes are all the ones that there's somebody else other than me.
Anyway,
Wow.
So, as my brother endorses that point of view,
I do want to add one other thing about the record. I was talking earlier that there is a cover on there. The cover is actually a song called The Great Adventure, which is written originally and performed by Stephen Curtis Chapman, which I've grown up a huge fan of his work. But the reason for that actually is Paul. He gave me my first CD. Actually, it was a cassette tape. He gave me my first ever album.
That's how long ago it was.
He gave me my first ever album,
Cassette
and it was the cassette of Stephen Curtis Chapman's The Great Adventure. And I played that so many times that I wore it out, and I had to go and buy the CD. But because of that and how much that means to me, that's why I decided to do the cover of that song. So, you know, that we have Paul to thank for that track if you like it.
Aww.
And we also have him to blame if you don't like it.
Oh, that's bad. You could really tell the age gap there. What's a cassette tape?
He has much to learn.
Yeah. You know, there's also in addition to the time that Zene talked about of the first learning opportunity doing the what was it, A Few Good Men at the Assembly of God Church of Names. There was also another appearance that he did with me that actually Zene and my daughter Ashley both sang with me on Voice of Truth, or did some appearance with me when I had the opportunity to speak and sing at our home church in Carroll, Iowa. And that was a great experience for me personally, and it was a lot of fun. Zene and I did a duet on 50s parody song. What is it? Yeah, so wonderful, or wonderful, or whatever. I don't know. Jesus, you're so wonderful. That's the name of the song, and it's a 50s doo-wop feel, and he did the excellent background vocals.
That's a word you can use.
Yeah, they're supposed to be done in a lampoony fashion, and he did a very good job of it too. But then he and my daughter Ashley beautifully sang with me as we did. The three of us did the song "Voice of Truth," and that's one of my favorite performances of that song, is to have done that with the two of them, because it was so much fun and they did such a great job. So see, there's the kudos right back at you.
Well, and also Ashley and I did. What was the name of that song? It was an Avalon song.
Oh yeah. I'm blanking on the name myself.
Yeah, it's been that long. I can't remember, but that was a lot of fun as well. And there are recordings floating around of that somewhere. But
yep.
I maybe we can share the stage again sometime.
Sometime, yeah, because I've started now doing. I did a wedding not too long ago. I'm a wedding singer now, apparently. And I got to learn a bunch of the Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin songs, and so obviously that style of music goes so well with what Fight the Fate is doing.
Well, I've started doing a lot of solo acoustic gigs as well, with 3 hours worth of music. I don't think people want to listen to my songs for 3 hours, so
yeah,
the gaps with covers, and so I know what you're talking about. But
maybe we'll get together and do "Carry On, Wayward Son."
We just did that this morning. Yeah. So we play at a church, it's called Alive Church. We have a website, you can check that out. It's alivechurchveneta.tv. And what we do.
Nice product placement there.
Yes. Yeah. So part of what we do is we have what we call a walk-in song that we play as people are walking in. They're finding their seats. And it's stuff that you would hear on the radio. It's not really worship songs. It's actually secular songs that people are going to be listening to anyway. But it kind of shows them, hey, it's okay. Everybody's welcome here. And so we try to do something different each time, challenge ourselves. We've done everything from Justin Timberlake to Backstreet Boys to
Guns N' Roses.
That's a gamut.
We did Back in Black.
Yep, 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it all. But today we actually did.
We literally just
Carry
did.
On My Wayward Son. So and Joseph's our lead guitar player here, and he was his fingers were smoking by the end of it. So
kind of red after that. That one was a big boy song. That didn't come easy.
It's funny you mentioned that.
That was.
I will say the whole time I was thinking I should have put a supernatural montage going behind us.
I knew you were going to go there.
It's funny because I don't know if you've seen on YouTube, and it's gone around Facebook a bit too, but at the most recent big major Comic-Con thing they did in San Diego, that's the Granddaddy Comic-Con. Excuse me, they had a supernatural panel there, and they got to use the big room, Hall H, at the convention center. And they went all out. Supernatural went all out for that. They had this wraparound video thing that went the front all down the sides that was showing all these clips and highlights and things while the song Wayward Son was playing. But they didn't just play the recording of Wayward Son. The lights came up and it was actually Kansas playing the song.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That'd have been awesome.
Oh, that is cool.
We were
It was
Kansas today. So.
it was apparently so awesome that the main cast members weren't waiting backstage for their call. They had all snuck out and around to the back of the auditorium so they could stand in the back and watch how awesome their introduction part was.
I would too.
Yeah, we're no Kansas, but we do play music.
That's because you're in Oklahoma.
That's true.
I see what you did there.
That's dad joke of the day.
Yes. Thank you. I perfected that skill.
Well, you've had many years to do so.
Yep, I have. Yes, because my kids are, well, one of them at least is just, yeah, a little bit younger than you.
So for those of you who don't know, Paul has a birthday coming up as well, October 2nd.
Yep.
And so you have an Amazon wish list or something where we can purchase presents for you? For
Is
those
that
of us
something
that may not be able to make it to your party.
is that something that the you youngins are doing these days? Amazon wish list? Is it?
Fact check?
Definite fact check.
Okay.
Yes.
He's younger than me, so I kids these days, who knows?
By a lot.
I'll have to check into that.
I already have. It's a thing.
So you can just find the link down below.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure if I figure this out, the link will be right there.
Find your links in the description below.
Genius. Absolute genius. Yes. You can tell that we're genetically related.
Great minds think alike and all that.
And so do ours. All right. Well, anything else that you'd like to share during our little chat today?
No, I don't think so. But I'm very grateful to be on the show, and
Me too.
I'm excited for what's going on in your life, and I love watching these because it helps me keep tabs on what's going on with Paul. So being so far away, I love welcome to my hello from my front porch. And if you are just tuning in for the first time, I want to tell you, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss it. It's great. And if you love dad jokes, it's for you. So.
and that subscribe button will be right here too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Zene, for joining us today here on the front porch virtually through the miracle of the web. And it's been a pleasure visiting with you and hearing about the new album coming out. And again, everybody that's watching and tell everybody who's not watching too, but go out to your favorite place to buy digital music content and look up Zene. Look up his work, and here middle of September the whole album will be available, but there is the one song currently that you got to hear acoustically here today that's currently available. Make sure you're getting out there, check it out, support him, and just, I mean, it's always good to support music that you like in general. The more you buy the content of what musicians do, the more they actually can keep doing the music that you enjoy. So make sure that you actually are going out and supporting them through buying their work. That's really helpful. All right. Now I forgot the name of your cohort already down there. What's his name again?
This is Joseph.
Joseph. Okay. So Zene, Joseph, thank you very much. Jessica, whose arm we saw, thank you for joining us today. Maybe in the future we'll see the other arm or something. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Something. She's shaking her head no. But
No.
maybe next time we come up and visit, we can have her on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be much more into it then.
Oh, look at her. Her face is already turning red.
All right. I'll let you go now. Thanks again for joining us all the way down there from Oklahoma. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to hearing all the rest of the album. Good luck to you in this endeavor, and we will chat again. And folks, I will see you next time from my front porch.